To this overtime rule thing.
All right, you're not going to make me feel good now.
No,
Because
I'm like, I don't pretend like I'm Bill Walsh. I really don't. Like, I love coaching. I love sports. But part of being a coach is you need to know the rules inside and out. Inside and out.
Uh-oh, we got an echo. Echo, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, echo's gone.
I guess it's just not me. So we're good now.
All right.
Anyway, point being is your job is to know every single rule and prepare your team for every single moment. Now, again, I'm not equating what I do to what Kyle Shanahan does. You have been in the NFL forever, all right? You should have a comprehensive knowledge of exactly what's going on, and then it is your job to explain it to your players. We assume, because professional athletes are in the bigs, whatever, that they know every team in the league, they know all the conferences, they know all the divisions, they know all the rules of the game. You'd be surprised how many really don't.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. Now, I'm not saying that's all of them. I think some of them know exactly what's going on, but a lot of them don't. But it is your job as a coaching staff to educate those guys, okay? So, for example, I've seen it in basketball. There are certain plays where I prepare my team for this emergency situation that might come down in the playoffs where we need to score a basket or we need an inbound play. And you set these up and you practice them once a week or whatever. We're talking a couple practices. We're not doing everyday practices. Bill Walsh, to go to the professional level, Bill Walsh practiced the catch every single day for 2 years. Now, they never even got to Dwight Clark on the route tree when they practiced that play.
It was all Freddie Solomon.
Right? But then when it came time to run that play, there was a familiarity of all those players. We're going to run this play that we're comfortable with, that we understand. The Derek Jeter play. I don't know if you remember this play, but the Derek Jeter play against the Oakland A's. Of course. I've heard him talk about it forever.
I forgot about that play. I'm only the biggest Derek Jeter fan on this show.
That's tough.
I know you guys hate Derek Jeter, but I mean, come on. Do I remember the Derek Jeter play? No, I don't remember.
No, he found himself in no man's land. He found himself in no man's land, and most people would say you should never have been in that spot anytime. But cognitive awareness and him saying, hey, like, I knew that I had to be backing up certain plays and I have to get near the ball. Like, this is a guy who's been thinking about it. Derek Jeter is one of the great postseason players of all time. Situational awareness.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you finally admitted that.
Like,
he is.
It's undeniable.
The intangibles.
It's undeniable. But for them to not know the rules, like, that's on the coaches.
No, that
really on the.
That really bugs me. Not only knowing the rules, but again, what happens if you score a touchdown in overtime? Or why half hit me up? It was so funny. And, in real time, you don't even think about things like this, because in real time, I'm thinking, all right, take the ball, defense is gassed, but you get the ball first, you score a touchdown, you win the game. Then they throw the rules up on the board. I'm like, oh, I forgot about the Josh Allen rules. I forgot about Josh Allen and all that stuff. But then for Juszczyk and Armstead, and then you got Tranquil on the other side of the Kansas City Chiefs said, oh, we prep for this every single week in the postseason and twice during the week during the Super Bowl prep. We were on it. Our whole strategy about it, what we're going to do. The Niners had no strategy. Shanahan was thinking about the third possession of overtime. Well, I can't be thinking about third possession. What if you get stuffed? You put the ball. There's no third possession. What you need to be, we need to score and get a stop 100%. And win the game. So, Hef texted me yesterday, if we would have scored the TD in overtime, the Niners players would have rushed the field thinking we won. And we would have got a 15-yard penalty. It is embarrassing. And the more I think about it, and after watching the rewatch, because that's what we did, and I'm giving Kansas City credit. Spags dominated Shanahan. He outcoached Shanahan.
And
he was in his hip pocket.
Their personnel's excellent.
But they took away. I thought it was the same game plan. And it looked very reminiscent of what happened against the LA Rams in the 2021 NFC title game, where they said, Jimmy Garoppolo, you're not going to throw it deep. We're going to stack 10 in the box, and we're going to make you throw it deep.
And we couldn't punish them.
You couldn't punish them. The Cleveland Browns did the same thing this past year. Oh, we're going to suffocate you and make Brock Purdy throw the football, and we're going to make him flush him out the pocket and make his life miserable. And that's what the Cleveland Browns did. That sticky man coverage. You know how many times I heard Romo thinking about Baldy when he says sticky man coverage? Romo said that over and over on Sunday. Hey, look at the G's. They're sticky man coverage. And they kept 10 in the box in that second half and dared Brock Purdy to throw football deep down the field. They were sitting on the sleds. They weren't threatened by the sleds and the end routes. They said throw it outside the numbers. And for whatever reason, the Niners couldn't do that. But with all that said, I would have kicked that ball off in overtime now. I pivoted. I would have flipped it. I would have kicked that ball off and tried to get a stop right away because it changes the strategy of everything in overtime. But the fact that Shanahan mentioned analytics and a third possession in overtime, homie, we may not get to the second possession, and they damn near turned it over on the first possession
multiple times, and then they got bailed out with a penalty. But Bonta, he's basing his quote unquote analytics off of the college game where you get the ball to 25-yard line in your own field. Like it's not equivalent.
It's kind of embarrassing.
No, it really is. And like to me, like honestly, it's the worst thing you could have said. And the more and more I hear the Niners talk, and the more and more I hear about this situation, the only thing I could say is it's a horrific look for everyone involved.
It is. It is.
It's really bad. And now I'm not saying it's a fireable offense. I'm not going to go that far. But it's one of those things I can't unsee. Think about this. When I think of Bill Belichick, I think of him not calling a timeout and allowing Seattle to almost panic on the other side, even though they had full control. And then Malcolm Brown knowing situationally what they were going to do. And then the NFL films a week later showing us in practice Bill Belichick thinking 15 steps ahead, saying they're going to run this play on the goal line at this time right now, and you're going to step in front and you're going to intercept it. That's a man who prepared his team for every single second. He's a man also, Bill Belichick, who told his team, I don't want you to stretch the ball out at the end zone because I'm afraid you're going to turn it over and we're going to score in these situations anyway. And I'd rather you be down at the one knowing I have Tom Brady
than risking a turnover there.
So, like, I cannot express enough the details lost the 49ers this game.
Details, so bad.
From top, bottom.
I mean, I'm still thinking about Lynch saying, boy, we're at Mahomes' pro day and so Shanahan, maybe we need to rethink our whiteboard. We need to maybe reshuffle some things. So remember in real time when I was mad about that? I was like, why would you admit that?
You were furious.
I was furious.
Possibly.
And now this guy's cost us 2 Super Bowls to Patrick Mahomes. And we still, listen, I'm telling you right now, I'll just put this out there to Ethos before we get out to the lines because I know there's a lot of calls and I want to get to everybody. Luke in Boston, Manny on Dumbarton Bridge, Rhea in Lancaster, Antonio in Oakland. We're going to get you all before the break here. If Purdy doesn't replicate the season he had this past year, if he has any regression in 2024, we're going to be right back to the quarterback talk after the. You know it. You know it.
Come on.
You know it. If he doesn't replicate the success he had this past season, you don't think Shanahan's going to be looking elsewhere? All that lip service about Brock Purdy, you just wait. Now, we're not there yet. That's not a conversation for today.
Good game.
He had a pretty good game considering the circumstances.
Yes.
I feel very encouraged by him.
Well, considering all your weapons let you down.
Right.
In some facet, whether it be the complete game or turnovers or not running routes, like every guy had a hand. I mean, Trent Williams is one of the greatest players the Niners ever had on their line. He had a horrible game.
Yeah.
I mean, Bonta had a horrible, and this is the other element about not being detail-oriented and buttoned up. And I'm going to go there, and I will. Like, I'm going to tell you this right now. If I was running a business and I saw one of my managers, one of the heads of my company, look a little disheveled on media day, I know it was cute and we laughed and it was funny and nobody wants to press Shanahan because he's got a lot of power and control. I'd have a very difficult time losing the way you did, not knowing the details, not knowing the rules, seeing all the chatter coming out, not looking back now in retrospect, saying to myself, that really wasn't a great look for you on media day. Now, I can't prove anything. I'm speculating. I'm going off of his normal behavior and the behavior I saw on Monday. In retrospect, at minimum, it's a really bad look. It's a really bad look.
Well, especially when you're not buttoned up on the details, like you said. When you're not buttoned up on the details and that happens. Now, I loved his answers. I thought he gave very thorough answers, but I don't know,
This is a billion-dollar corporation, and I know it's not the same as running Safeway or running Apple or anything like that, but just think about what companies you roll with. If you have one of your managers that loose at a big function that's extremely important, would Bruce Bochy act that way at a media day? No, maybe after the game, after they've won, would Steve Kerr act that way?
No.
I mean, look, we all laugh. It's Shanny. We love him and everything. But then when you see them look unbuttoned and not know the rules in overtime, it's like, man, all these things, these are bad looks. They're piling up.
It's terrible looks.
And no one's running them out of town, but it's things that I can't unsee now.
No, it's terrible looks. It was terrible looks. Let's go to Luke in Boston. Luke in Boston, what's happening?
Hey, Luke.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Lukey Boston?
It sucks that,
Going once?
yeah, can you hear me?
Going twice? You guys back there?
Can you hear me?
All right. No, Lukey Boston. Let's go to Manny on a Dumbarton Bridge. No. Oh, we can't hear. Uh-oh. We can't. All right. Let me know when we take some calls. Let me know. Let me get the legal out the way. You are listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMG FM and AC1 San Francisco. Shout out to YouTube and Twitch, brought to you by First NorCal Credit Union. Baldy's coming up in about 30 minutes. Baldy in 30 minutes. Let me know when we can hear some calls here, because I do want to get out there, everybody out there, 888-957-9570. So it's not the best look for Shanahan at Media Day or whatnot. But you know what? All that stuff goes away if Spags doesn't outcoach you. Spags' game plan against Shanahan, they knew everything that was coming. And you could just tell. I'm just looking at the game, I'm thinking, wow, the Cleveland Browns were some variation to that. They blitzed, they hurried Purdy, and that was by far the 49ers' worst offensive game of the season. They had 8 straight possessions where they went 3 and out. Cleveland was all over them. The Rams game with Jimmy Garoppolo, when that happened, what they did to the 49ers, I said, wow, that's some of that game plan where they said, you know what, we're going to slam the run. And I get why, the first 9 plays in the second half, right? The play splits were alarming. 8 passes, 1 rush. But I get, like Romo said it, on the second possession, he goes, I would run it here. You got to get back to the running game ASAP. And the Niners ran it on first down, and Romo said, that's fine. You only got a yard. Run it again. Get about 4 yards. Just settle the game. That was the second possession, I believe.
Did Banks go full starting on that one?
That was the first drive.
Okay.
That was a drive
killer.
That was a drive killer. That was after the interception.
Yes, you're right.
But Romo said, just stick to the run. Stick to the run. And they didn't do that.
Well, it felt like in overtime they stuck to the run and they started to have some success. It felt like they were starting to have some success. And they slammed the ball down their throat. Look, I just think they got out hit, they got outplayed, they got outcoached, and they got beat by one of the greatest players of all time. I mean, it was a recipe where the entire team let them down. I mean, Chris Connolly was amazing on special teams, but then conversely, you have Ray McLeod and Darrell Luter, making multiple gaffes on one play, and you give it right back to them when you've stopped them. You made them go 3 and out, and you gift them the ball at the 16, right?
Kansas City's first 9 possessions was atrocious, and yet you could have knocked them out of this football game.
I know.
You could have been leading comfortably. All right, let's go back out to Luke in Boston. Is he still there? Can we still go to the lines? What about Manny on Dumbarton Bridge? Manny, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, good morning.
Can't hear anything. We got to fix the phone lines back there, guys. So sorry to everybody out there that's waiting on hold. I'm not sure what's going on here at the studio or what the hell's going on with the call or the talk back or whatnot. A little frustrating here as we talk Super Bowl.
You open up your phone and you're looking around at the internet yesterday and you're seeing this Brandon Ayuk stuff with his family. And I don't knock BA for when your family's talking. Like, I get it. And this is what I tell this to my dad on Facebook. Like, Dad, I'm not nowhere near the profile of Brandon Ayuk. But it's like, you got to be careful what you put out there because people will run with it, right? And your family, you can't control them. They're going to say certain things. So I don't hold that against them. But then when I see John Feliciano tweeting about Colton McKivitz and Spencer Burford, to me, going back to bad looks, it's like, guys, keep that in-house. Keep that in-house. We don't need to tweet. And then for those that don't know what's going on, there's a lot of people tweeting about the final third down play where Chris Jones comes flying in, and there's clearly a miscommunication or a missed assignment from the offensive line. And there's a lot of finger pointing going on the internet along the fans. Let the fans do that. Yeah. John Feliciano comes and tweets out basically that it's the guard, insinuating that it's Burford who missed an assignment.
So you just air out your teammate and throw him under the bus.
That's bad. That's a bad look.
That's a terrible look. Who the hell is Feliciano to air out his teammate?
Exactly.
You're a swing guard. You're not even a full-time starter. Who the hell are you to air out Spencer Burford and think that's okay on Twitter? And then Burford comes on Twitter and goes, boy, I open up this app and that's what we're doing?
Poor guy.
Like, what? You blame me and throw me under the bus? I get you want to have the back of Colt McKivitz, but this is where athletes sometimes need to put down social media and not respond to everything. Okay, you see your teammate going, leave it alone. Leave it alone. Who the hell is Feliciano?
It was unnecessary. It's unnecessary to put that out there. And this goes back to button it up, guys. Like, come on, man. Every time we lose, we can't be finger pointing and blaming and talking, all these excuses of why we lost and, we didn't know the rules in Philadelphia as we lost our quarterback. Like, it's always something.
It's always something. We make ourselves look weak. We make ourselves look weak. And we make Ross Tucker sound correct. We make Ross Tucker
and Philly
sound validated. Well, forget Philly. Philly are their season was done December 3rd. I could care less about Philadelphia. Philadelphia are a bunch of losers. Like Elliott Shore-Parks is, like, think about this. There's a lot of stupidity that comes out after the Super Bowl, but Elliott Shore-Parks talking about the 49ers were never that good. They were very lucky to beat Detroit and Green Bay. They aren't a great team. So a team that just advanced to the Super Bowl and took the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes to overtime is not very good. That's what we're dealing with when it comes to the reporting and the fandom of Philadelphia. They're just some idiots. They're just dummy. Like that city might be dumb as rocks. I'm convinced. And if they want to smoke, they can tweet me all they want to. They can write all the articles. I don't give a damn about Philadelphia.
But when you lose this way at the end like that, all the other fan bases are going to come and they're going to take a dump on your face. Like that's what people do.
I'm here for
I know,
that.
but that's what
just
sports fans do.
Yeah, no, but not sports.